afternoon. Good afternoon, Stockton, California. This is KXVS.org here, community radio station. Live here at Newton every lunch hour. Fridays is the Yellow Dot Spotlight Show, part of the Spotlight on the Arts series. We have them on Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays. Go ahead and check out the KXVS.org for your local listings of all great shows that we have here. I'm David Perry Molina, your host for today of the Yellow Dot Spotlight Show on Fridays that we host all different types of entertainment, food, music, arts. And today we have we have music today, some musicians that we have out there. Today we have Lionel, Randolph, and Christopher. Here we go. Let me turn you guys up. Are you guys there? Hello?
Hello, hello, hello.
Testing. Mic check. I can't hear nothing.
Can't hear nothing in your headsets. Let's see.
No. Hey.
Go ahead and try to plug that in here.
Let me switch back.
Yeah, go ahead and switch those.
Yeah, I don't hear any. Do you hear me?
I can hear you, Lionel. Everything looks good on the board here.
Oh, okay. Well, I can hear you from there, so.
Yeah, definitely in the booth.
Mm-hmm. No worries.
Okay. So, all right.
Well, we can still hear him from the vocal.
Yeah, we're fine.
Yeah.
Just gonna talk in the mic, and I'll go ahead and adjust you from here.
Testing. Mic check. 1, 2.
You're good.
There you go.
How's everybody doing?
All right.
Mr. Music in the house.
All the way live.
Nice. Okay, so here, hang on a second. Let me get this camera fixed for the album here. There we go.
Yeah.
So okay, so we're gonna talk about Lionel's Mr. Music's music today and his albums and stuff, and we're going to go ahead and plug those in, so keep a lookout for the future of his music here on the radio. But let's talk about your adventures and stuff, and it sounds like talking to you and meeting you that you've been in the industry for a long time, talking to Chris and talking to yourself. You know, we're going to start talking about your albums, and it's really neat how you came out with this series. Let me see real quick. You've got like this on the camera there, you got volume 1, and then right here, looks like, you got volume 2 and volume 3, which is kind of neat. You got about 17 songs. That's some work.
Yeah,
that's a lot of work on there.
Yeah, he has a lot of songs. In fact, he's got like 17 on each of them. So that's like, multiple, up to 54? Is that 54?
Yeah. It took about 2 years to do it, because you got to like take your time and try to get everything tight and everything,
Uh-huh.
So
So it's kind of a 2-year journey on these albums and stuff, and we'll talk about these albums a little bit here. But I kind of want to touch base of maybe some of the beginnings of how you started and some influences, and then we'll go from there and catch up with your current journeys and stuff, and then what you guys are collaborating on and everything. So you've been in this our Valley for a while.
I've been out here probably about 15 years. Off and on.
And so what kind of do you like? What kind of music style are we looking at here on the album here?
Everything.
Everything.
It's a little bit of everything. You know what I mean?
Right. So as people are listening, they might want to cruise around on their media right now. So right now, where can they find you and kind of hang out? And maybe as they're watching the show, they can listen to what you've kind of produced and stuff. So where is some information that they can find your music?
Well, I'll be performing this month at Laugh Unlimited. That's on the 27th. That's in Sacramento. I don't have the address with me right now.
But it's Laugh Unlimited.
Laugh Unlimited.
Sacramento, and then plus we have other shows scheduled later on this month, in June and July. But the upcoming one is in Sacramento.
Right, well, those are definitely some days that we can look forward to. But what media can we find you at? What would be some media that they can...
YouTube.
Yeah.
Some YouTube, and they just look up Mr. Music.
Lionel Randolph.
Lionel Randolph. For those of you that are listening
Mr.
live and stuff, you can click on over to some YouTube stuff and check it out as we get his albums, prepared to play multiple times over here on our show as we put them in our track system. But so you're telling me about this journey of this album. That took 2 years. So what are some of the feelings on this album that you've kind of put on this album?
Well, just making it, I kind of wanted to like step in every style of music. I just didn't want to be labeled to one, particular style. So there's like R&B, there's country on there, there's some rock and roll, some ghetto metal, there's some house music. just a little bit of everything. I just kind of wanted to, see what somebody was going to really like the most on the album, and whatever that was going to be, I was going to capitalize off that and just ride that style all the way to the bank.
Yeah,
that was the plan.
Cool.
You know what I mean?
We probably just throw a lot of different multi-genres out there.
Yeah, just to see which one. You know what I mean?
And so is there like an overall theme that you have? I mean, is it more like R&B, even though, is there like more of a root theme to it all? Or is it really just a multi-genre albums that you're putting out?
It's like, I would say pop, R&B.
Oh, nice.
It's pop, R&B, yeah. And, the ones that I thought that was that was going to be the one to really make some noise, I was kind of wrong, because the one, out of all of them, the one that's really getting the most attention is the song called Keep It Moving. Chris called it when he first heard it.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to think about it, but...
Keep it moving. So, what album on this one might be, or what volume?
That's on volume 2.
On volume 2. Keep it moving. 2. And then also we have guitar sex. I find that very interesting. That's a nice little mellow type, jazz type instrumental type song.
A little bit of Barry White happening there.
Yeah,
that's kind of mood we're talking about.
You need to definitely check out the CD.
I know it's the afternoon, folks, but we can save that for nighttime.
Oh, it's definitely a cruise.
But love is always good all around. Definitely,
it's definitely a cruise.
Well, that's kind of cool. Out of all these volumes that you have, somebody could probably put on a different selection for their different moods, the time of the day,
right? Yeah,
for different stuff, which is awesome. So as you guys are working together, what's happening with you, Chris? What you kind of help produce him, or you guys are working together?
Yes,
and stuff?
More or less. I just more or less try to do the videos and try to make sure to support my friend as much as possible, just to get some exposure. A couple of shows we have done, a couple of shows in the past, as well as been on KWIN back in 2011. We was on there with what song was that? What song was that? I forgot what song we was on.
That's a good market.
Yeah, it feels
K-Win's
good.
A nice big market.
We was on KWIN. I forgot what song it was, and then now we're just truly trying to just promote Lionel, Mr. Music, and just bring people out and just listen to some real good music, because he has real good music offering. And plus, to me personally, I think he's better than Jimi Hendrix. So you guys better beware.
Ooh, that's a tough bill. That's a tough bill to follow there.
Yeah,
Jimi Hendrix.
But check out the album and you
pioneer. So I guess you're. Yeah. I would say maybe a pioneer in the music that you're doing, because that's what I would take that as Jimi Hendrix was a pioneer during his times in creating new sounds and doing all these wonderful things that he helped contribute to the blues and the rock and the R&B scene, which a lot of his music. Castles Made of Sand.
And I really feel Lionel is the next one.
Well, that's awesome.
Take over.
And that's a wonderful thing. And so as pioneer, as I'm putting things together, you got a multi-genre albums. You got volumes, which volumes 1, 2, and 3 was a multi-genre, which is innovating of creating a new sound, because you're stirring the pot. You're stirring the pot with all these multi-genres.
The gumbo mix.
It's a gumbo mix, right? You can throw a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Especially
and then
country.
that's I really enjoy that, because that's when the magic happens. You don't know what is going to come out of that mixture of multi-genres that you're putting together.
Right. And, like Yngwie Malmsteen and, Beethoven, I'm more or less into that. So when I hear his music, I can really hear that in his sound.
In his sound, the Yngwie Malmsteen style, which is like the classical rock when he brings it down. It's
Love the way he play.
Wow, that's some good stuff.
Lionel has worked with, in fact, he's worked on the Temptations' last album.
That's right. Let's get into that, the work that he's done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the Temptations here with Lionel Randolph. So the Temptations, go ahead, Chris, and continue the story.
No, Lionel can tell you, because it started with the Jacksons first.
Oh my gosh, let's hear some history. So here's some history, folks. KXVS,
the Temptations, the Jacksons, Bon Jovi, the Temptations. I landed that song on them. I think that was 91. The album came out in 92. My song was called Whenever You're Ready. Ollie Woodson was the lead singer on it. And I was just really amazed that that even really happened. But I think the biggest shocker to me in the music business was when I went to Michael Jackson's mother's
Wait, real
house.
quick on the Temptation on the Temptations. What album can we find you on?
Oh, it's the album's called Milestone.
The
Milestone album.
The last album.
The last album, The Temptations, and you wrote a song on there.
And my song is called Whenever You're Ready.
Whenever You're Ready. And so how do they approach you on that? I mean,
Well,
you're just jamming, and they're like, this dude right here, man, he needs a...
A friend of mine that I had met in the music business, I gave him a copy of the instrumental. He took it to Motown, and one of the members from the Temptations, Otis Williams, was walking down the hallway, and he heard the music, and he came in the room. He said, "Who did this? I want this for my album." So he told me, and that's how the whole thing happened. The song started talking to him. It didn't have no lyrics, just the instrumental.
Well, I'm sure it colored in his mind, like
He could hear.
he could hear it, right? He started putting things together. He's like, "Oh man, I could feel all these pictures and all these things happening together." So,
and that's one thing about music. Sometimes, you know, the art, you can make the music, and then all of a sudden the lyrics just come. You know, they just come out.
I mean, see, that's how I write music. You know, the first thing I do is come up with a track. I come up with a track that I can feel. If I can't feel it, I can't work. I can't do nothing to it. So after I come up with the track, I'll play it over and over and over and over again to find the vocals. The vocals just start coming as you start humming. You know what I mean? You start humming, and then you start writing, then boom, it just comes. You know.
wow. That's cool because we're all vessels, and I love when that energy kind of channels through us and stuff.
Yeah.
So we're dealing with the Temptations there, and then now Michael Jackson.
No, he was with
Jackie Jackson.
Jackie Jackson.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
A friend of mine introduced me to Jackie Jackson. Jackie Jackson back then had a group called The Mix. They were called The Mix because they were some young kids mixed as far as nationality-wise. So they were looking for some songs for their album. And me and this cat had did like 2 songs. Well, basically I did all the music, and Jackie Jackson heard it, and he wanted to use them. So we went to his mother's house where they have a recording studio, and we ended up cutting two songs. He didn't pay me, but I was just waiting for the records to come out.
Well, it's the labor of love sometimes.
Yeah, you know,
just to be on there, you know. Sometimes,
just to be on there.
You know, you got to make the stepping stone. There's many stories that shares about the industry of that. One of my favorite ones that pops out right away is when Stevie Ray Vaughan used to play for David Bowie.
Yeah,
he really had to pay his dues, and he really didn't get
nothing,
a lot of credit or you know.
Exactly.
So 20 years later, when people find it out, it's like, oh, bummer. You know what I mean? But it is a bummer.
That's just how the way the music business is.
It's just the way it is. And
sacrifice.
It's a cutthroat business, but at the same time, you know, you just got to you know, keep pushing, keep striving, keep moving, you know, keep it moving.
And it is a longevity type of industry to where you are putting yourself on these albums, maybe not getting royalties or paid.
Right.
But your name is on there, and you just go back and say, oh, man, and the next thing you know, you're playing for the Temptations.
Right.
Now, see, music started for me in Oakland, California.
Yeah.
I grew up in Oakland, California, and I grew up with Tony.
Yes, he did.
Because my grandfather, my uncle was the original bass player for Tony. So I kind of met them cats when I was probably about like 12 or 13. And back then, I was like singing then. So I would
with
go
the Romeo band.
Yep.
And
I had a group.
Well, that was a whole scene right there. That's the same like with Digital Underground and Tony.
Yeah.
Like it kind of does a nice little scene that pops out of there.
Yeah,
kind of
bottom of the basement type. You know?
Yeah, like fusion,
right
hip hop, but fusion stuff. That was. Man, I really enjoyed the sounds.
Exactly.
Oakland.
And so with Tony, what happened with that? You jam with the bass player.
Well, you know, with Raphael Sadiq, the lead singer, and the guitar player, they used to rehearse at my grandfather's house. So I met I call him Ray. They call him Raphael, but I call him Ray Wiggins.
Yeah, Ray.
We had a band back then called Flames. I think we was probably about like 10, 11 back then. You know, just starting off. So you know. My uncle was the original bass player for Tony, but they were called Alpha Omega back then.
No, there's some history research.
Yeah, that's some real history right there.
Wow.
That's some Oakland stroke right there.
So I would go to all their rehearsals because they rehearsed at my grandfather's house, and when they wasn't rehearsing, me and my cousin would sneak down there and play their instruments. Y'all didn't know that, did you?
They know now.
Yeah. That's because we couldn't afford real instruments, because a real guitar back then was like a Fender Stratocaster, Gibson Les Paul. We couldn't really afford them. We had the knockoffs that didn't sound like the real thing, but it was better than nothing. You know what I mean?
Well, sometimes those those create new sounds like by force of nature. I mean, you had to adapt, but then that's how sometimes new sounds come out, because you have to.
And that's just the whole thing. Just keep practicing, regardless of what you got. You make this sound come out.
And then who else have you been jamming or that you're contacted with that you want?
I did some music on Big Syke. Big Syke was Tupac's left hand man, and he was his hype man.
Right.
He passed away, God bless his soul, just recently. But I did like 3 songs on his album, and from that I ended up in a documentary called Welcome to Death Row Records.
Welcome to you're in the documentary.
Yeah,
I remember
he's in the
documentary.
Yeah,
more in the 90s possibly, if I remember.
Yeah, like late 90s.
Yeah,
late 90s.
Mm-hmm.
So you're in that documentary.
He's in the documentary too as well.
Where's my research team? Oh wait, it's me. It's me. Sorry.
I know.
I'm like, wait a minute. Where's my research?
The show must go on.
No, but so the documentary. So tell me about that. I mean, how are you on there and you're talking about?
In there. I did a lot of talking, but they did a lot of edits, and they edited me out a lot. But I'm still in there. They kept a little piece of me,
Yeah.
Well, the whole experience must have been awesome, even though they clipped it out for what their needs were. But the whole interview, I mean, the whole thing that you did would have been amazing.
That was definitely an honor, and that's something I would never forget how that happened. But but I think the biggest thing that I've done to me was really a shocker and a surprise was when I went to Michael Jackson's mother's house. Because that whole scenery was just completely different. Because when I first kind of got there, they had like a candy store, they had an ice cream parlor, they had a museum, they had a recording studio, basketball courts, waterfalls, swimming pool, 20-car garage or something like that. So just seeing all that was really a trip. Especially when I went to the museum, they had pictures of everything the Jackson 5 had ever did, and it was engraved in the floor, the walls, and the ceiling.
Wow. That's awesome.
Just pictures of everything they ever
he was definitely great.
I was like, man.
He would definitely be missed.
So I didn't have no camera, wasn't able to take no pictures.
But you do have some pictures, though. You do have some pictures.
Jackie Jackson gave me a picture of the Jackson 5 when they was real little.
Yeah. I seen the pictures, and it's real nice, too.
All right, well, hopefully you guys again.
I had Michael Jackson when he was
jamming,
black.
Next time we'll bring a guitar. I brought my guitar. Maybe we can check it out later on, but no worries, we don't have to. But,
I'll bring my guitar down here and set it up.
Yeah, he's worked with Bon Jovi as well. You know?
That's right. That was one more.
Yeah.
So Bon Jovi. So how do we get hooked up with Bon Jovi? I know that.
Okay.
I know we can spend some time here, and I'm just going to still talk about the history of how he started and the differences between the industry from when he started. But with Bon Jovi,
Now, what happened with Bon Jovi, I was working with this young lady in Stockton a long time ago. I had a studio out here, and it was called the Sweat Box. And I was doing a lot of producing there.
The Sweat Box. I think a lot of garage bands can relate to that.
The Sweat Box.
yes.
And you come to our studio, you will melt putting in work, you know what I mean? So we had that going on. So I met this chick. Her name was Coco, Mamie Guns, and she said that she was on tour with the Dog Pound. So she was touring with them. So she was off for a minute. So back then I was trying to create like a new sound as far as music. I wanted to be something different. I wanted to make something different that nobody had. So I came up with this style of music called ghetto metal. Ghetto metal with the guitar and the heavy bass and the 808s and all that. So she heard it and she wanted to sing on some of my music, so we started doing a few things together. So I did like about 3-4 songs on her, and she let Jack Ponte hear it. And I think he was the guitar player from Bon Jovi. I'm not really sure, but he heard it, and he told me, he said, if you can do a couple more songs like this, I can guarantee you I can get her $1 million deal. That's what he told me. So
wow.
So I did a couple more songs on her. She ended up getting $1 million recording deal.
Yeah.
I went down there, started producing her, and things just kind of went sour because she had like a boyfriend that was in the entertainment business, and he was like real jealous.
Yeah, you can't mix relationship and business together. Every time.
It's a fine line. It takes a tough person to know the difference between the two and stuff.
You can't mix that, man.
So where would you find? So you had recordings and you helped produce this album. I mean, we can find it on YouTube, because now that's the wonderful thing about nowadays.
You know, the album never came out because her and her boyfriend, between the two of them, they had so many problems.
Right.
I just had to walk away from it. You know what I mean?
But I think definitely with a lot of musicians, you know, if we gathered 100 or a couple hundred and write a book about it, you know, we might. That's definitely a subject that's a tough matter for musicians. And the other side. I mean, can you imagine the other side who doesn't play music?
Right.
But then they got to deal with the musician. I mean, right there is a whole math problem in itself on trying to delegate and
women
keep things.
A lot of
balanced.
women, you know, get jealous if you are a musician, a guitar player, bass player, a keyboard player, and you play at a gig and somebody walk up to you telling you how they really enjoyed it. Certain women that you might be with or been with might just have an attitude. I mean, it's been that way for me. They walk up and they ask me, why did she have to come up and tell you this? And I didn't make her say that. She just gave me a compliment. So
I think it comes from the mood, how the way, I'm telling you, his guitar is fabulous. When you listen to his guitar, you know, it brings out different expressions, different moods, and different feelings. And maybe that's what she had to express herself.
Oh, some women that told me some weird stuff about that.
Can be the Pied Piper of many things, you know.
Yes, they can.
But definitely. So,
and
must respect to all relationships, and that is a whole subject that I'd like to maybe have a forum of different musicians, and we can definitely talk about that. Because, you know, even with my relationship, it's always ups and downs. It's definitely a give and take. And
you play a good song.
I try to look at the both sides. You know, if you look at the big picture, you don't want to hurt nobody, but at the same time, you have this passion in you, and you're like, well, gosh, how do I find that balance?
Right.
You know, when in that situation.
Right.
So after Bon Jovi, you're kicking it, and so.
But when I met this young lady, she introduced me to a lot of people, though. Okay. Not just Bon Jovi. I actually met Barry White.
Yeah, Barry White.
She was doing a song with him. They did that song over called "Low Ride to Ride a Little Slower" or something. So
they had war.
They
helped right underneath it. Underneath
did the whole song over, and she rapped on it.
Now there's a huge argument about the war and the guys in war. That half of them, a lot of them split up, and a lot of them are claiming who wrote what, who wrote what.
Exactly.
They fighting and feuding. That's probably why the record never came out, because they cut it.
For what I know, it's a really sticky situation.
Yeah.
And for me, some of the stuff that I know was my uncle is J.D. Baruch, who used to be in the Ninth Creations back in the 70s.
I know J.D.
Yeah. And so that's my uncle. So
and he passed away, huh?
Yeah, he did about.
God bless his soul. I know A.D.
Yeah, for me, so some of my music experience back in the 70s when I was a kid growing up, I used to hang around and do things and hang out and watch them play. So watching the Ninth Creation go as far as they did, that's one of the things that really got me into music, just seeing the power and the energy that
they've been on Soul Train and
everything. They got like 9 albums. Yeah. It's rare to find their albums.
You was messing around with them like
I was messing around with AD back then.
I
know his cousin Pamela O'Neill.
And so those are my cousins and all my families and stuff, and so bless them, and I definitely enjoyed the Ninth Creation days back in the 70s and 80s.
I remember that.
And then I think they're still going. The new generations have taken over. But anyways, so you're talking about different musicians. So on your albums, is there any collaborations with musicians on these volumes?
On Volume 3, I did some collaboration vocals with different artists on Volume 3.
So we got some songs on here. We'll go over the songs here in a little bit. But so Volume 3. So I kind of like Man, I really like how they're like in volumes because. Oops, let me put that back. Oh, there
I
you
got
go.
it. I got it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Get a picture on there.
Yeah.
But so I like the concept. It's almost like the old-fashioned '70s where they came out with double albums, and it's very rare. And in the '80s, a little sprinkles of double albums. It's very rare that people, I think, come out with double. I think the last ones I can remember, off the top of my head, was maybe Green Day.
Nah, last one
Santana.
I think Tupac.
Tupac came out with the double album.
Yeah,
double
CD. He came out with the double one. The last one I can remember.
Did. All Eyes on Me.
And maybe
I
Quincy.
double.
Didn't Quincy come out with one?
I think he may have. I'm not
You know
sure.
who I was following a lot, which I always have
Carlos
since a little
Santana
kid.
too.
Yeah, Prince was coming out with a lot of double albums.
Yeah, Prince was.
Because he had so much music. I don't know. He just made a lot
See,
of double.
the reason why I did this is because I had like produced a lot of people. You know what I mean? Because when I had my recording studio in Stockton, I was like recording everybody from Doja Click to D Good, Be Legit, Sugar T. I just had everybody coming to the studio there. But you know what took me out of business was so many things was happening so fast. Somebody broke in my studio, man, and stole like $10,000 worth of equipment from me.
That can be a setback.
And that man, that hurt.
Yeah. I wasn't on call that day. Unfortunately,
that was not cool.
Because I do security.
That took me out the game.
I do security too for Lionel Randolph, and unfortunately I wasn't there.
That took me out the game, man, for a hot minute. Because back then we were using ADATs.
Yeah,
you know, I remember those.
I got a bunch of them left over. I got one ADAT machine.
They still had some clear recordings back in the day, better than the cassettes and moving on to the little mini discs. But
yeah,
remember the ADAT machines and stuff? That was really neat. Getting into the digital for me. That was one of the first few crossovers. The ADAT machines.
Yeah.
But, they're still working out there.
I still got the machine. I got the tapes. I haven't had a chance to transfer it over into my studio yet. You know what I mean?
Well, the wonderful thing about music is it always repeats itself through history, but music is timeless. So it's like
it never dies.
One of the things I like doing about this show is finding those gems, recordings that nobody's heard, and you bring them out of the basement, and you get a chance to do that, or live music. Get a chance for that.
Right, to feel it, to feel. The instrument, the music, the melody, you know what I mean?
All that stuff.
That's what I like.
So what are some of the places that you circulate? You circulate our area, kind of from the Manteca area, which
San
is
Francisco,
Tracy,
Los Angeles. I've been on tour from here to Europe,
Germany.
So I've been to Germany, Atlantic City, Palm Springs. I played almost every casino in Reno, Las Vegas, Sparks, Nevada, all over the place, So I got the experience as far as touring. Touring can make you lose your mind out there, man, if you ain't careful. Because, every night turns into a party.
Yeah.
Every time you get off stage,
there we go.
Every time you get off stage, there's a party to go to. Doing the casino things, we would start playing like at 9 o'clock at night, and we get off probably about 1:30 or 2. And then naturally they give us free drinks, so all the women are at the bar, so we hanging out at the bar. You know what I mean? Just partying nonstop.
Those are the old days.
I don't roll like that no more.
It's a young man's game. It's a young man's game.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like you're saying, if you're doing it day in, day out, it almost turns into you're like an athlete.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You really got to prepare for the next day. Like
and you really
got to
have
condition
to.
yourself because it turns into it's physical and mental.
Yes, it is. You got to take care of yourself because if you don't, you can just drop dead. You know what I mean? Because you partying all the time. You ain't taking care of yourself, and especially when you hit the big times, there's always a party to go to.
Somebody's always wanting to help you out.
Every time
not the right way or something.
After every concert, there's a party to go to in your honor. You know what I mean?
So yeah.
Wow.
So you got to show
up.
up.
My honor.
In your honor.
Your honor. Yeah.
Let's party.
Sometimes I don't even show up.
I can handle that, so I couldn't handle it.
Okay.
No, but honestly.
Like, why you didn't show up today? Well, I didn't feel like it.
But honestly, that is a chore. I mean, that is a responsibility to be had. That's why I also admire professionals more than their music, but behind the scenes that people don't see the professionalism of being able to keep that up, being able to say, you know what, I thank you for inviting me to your party, but tonight I'm going to go home and watch. I'm going to watch the Golden Girls or something.
I have more business.
I want to go and watch something.
I have other projects to do, besides.
That takes a real strong person to say no.
Yeah, it does.
You know what I mean? Because as you keep going and you tired and you don't want to go, they got a pill that'll help you go. You know what I mean? Right. And that's what you really want to stay away from.
You want to stay away from all that.
They got a pill to help you sleep, to help you get up.
Stay positive,
keep you going.
Stuff.
Oh, no.
That's when you get a nice crew going together for a while.
Yeah, and that's what we're trying to establish is a great crew. We have a good team, and we're just trying to promote and do shows and present Mr. Lionel, Mr. Music, Randolph.
Just bringing back some real music.
Bringing back some real music.
Some feel-good music. Yeah. Music that make you smile. You ain't got to be afraid to smile. Ain't nobody trying to look hard or crazy. It's all about music that make you feel
can't hate on feel-good music because everybody's feeling good.
Yeah, you feel good, happy, smile, live a long time, enjoy life.
So, real quick, I'm going to do a quick service announcement that we have to do, but... not that we have to. I want to. But real quick, you were saying at the beginning of the show you had some places that were coming up, and you're going to be at the Laughs Unlimited in Sacramento, which is a great spot.
Yes.
They're really opening that spot up to a lot of local bands across the board in the Valley, which is wonderful. I know some friends that play out there once in a while, and hopefully I get to make the journey out there. Yeah, definitely. The Old Town Sac.
Okay, yeah.
So Laughs Unlimited is one that's coming up. They can look that on your Facebook site, and then anything coming in this area that's more
got
local?
Something in July the 11th at Library Park. They're having a function out there. They're having They're having like a little carnival out there, and we're playing live out there. It starts at 4:30.
Where's that at?
That's in Manteca.
Manteca?
Library Park.
Library Park.
Well, there we go. So you can probably look at the Library and Park Manteca website or something in the city. I'm sure.
Yeah, we're gonna broadcast that big time.
All right.
Awesome.
So that's coming up.
Well, cool. Well, here we are at the KVX radio station here, .org, community radio station. And, without your help, we can't bring these wonderful content shows to you all across the board. You can check it out at KXVS.org. A lot of many shows. My show here is Yellow Dot Spotlight every Fridays, 12 to noon. And for me, I like to focus on local musicians, artists, paint artists, food artists, anything of an art of positiveness that brings it to the community that we can all share and hang out. And so, a few thanks to part of our sponsorship, the Peace and Justice Network that really helps us out a lot, providing buildings and everything else that we can help, that they help us out and we help them out, a lot of stuff. Oh, here's one, Mountain Mike's Pizza. Good stuff. Who can't live without pizza, right?
Mountain Mike is famous.
So we definitely have a lot of underwriters that help us out, sponsors and supporters. And so if anybody's out there listening to some shows and you do like a show, you can sponsor any one of our DJs here. Sponsor me. I'm kidding. But honestly, everything goes back to the station that we're trying to save it for a tower that we can go FM. Right now we are podcast, live YouTube and live Facebook and the live website that we have here, KXVS.org. And so a lot of the help that we have here, a lot of people that are pulling together, myself, David Perry Molina. I'm kind of a producer that helps her out. Some of the shows here, I produce the Spotlight on the Arts series, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. A lot of other people here that are really running these shows here. We got Don the Governor, who's the general manager, who you can contact him for any info. And it's really wonderful that he drives the ship here, which is awesome. And we have a lot of different people here that are helping out. Nicole, Nikki D, Dustin, Details. We got Alex, Joey, Xenia, Donovan, the camera guy. Hey, Donovan, what's happening? And then, so a lot of great people here that are doing their shows. Betty Ramirez she's a marketing manager for marketing here, if you have any questions for that. She also has her own shows here called Support Latino. And so support her, Betty Ramirez, on that show. And so we're looking at here. So we got a lot of the announcements there, what's happening. So with the community radio station that we have here, we're really trying to focus on our 209 and beyond, but the Valley here, and we just kind of reach out. As the more we reach out, the more we're connected. Yeah. So today, on today's show, we have Mr. Music, a full history.
What's up, y'all?
A full history all the way from the Temptations and Bon Jovi and just some heavy hitters. So putting in the time from when you first started to about now, I know the music industry always changes. Now, do you see a repeat? But now, with new technology, do you see the repeat expanding out of new venture areas? Because I talked to a lot of people going away from FM radio. The podcast is kind of blowing up into the scene to get music out there. But playing live or getting your music out, can you share some of the experiences of the transformations that you felt over the years through your experience? And you too, Chris, you can jump in, of course.
Okay.
I think that the live music is going to, come back because, today a lot of times they just have like a DJ and a rapper that you can go pay to go see, and the only time you get to see a live band is when it's an old school band, somebody's from the 70s or 80s, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as you looking at what's happening now, they're not like signing new groups. They don't even sign groups no more, you know what I mean, as far as bands. And if they do sign bands, it's more so of a rock and roll band, if anything, because they're bringing rock is still happening. And that's why
a bunch of rock
I'm into the rock thing.
Guitar Star is another good song.
Yeah,
Guitar Star.
I got a song called Guitar Star.
It's an awesome song too.
They're going to love me for that one. I hope.
No, but
trying to bring it
back.
Real
quick, the one hit song, I want to push that one song on the
second volume.
The second volume.
It's Keep It Moving.
Keep It Moving. There we go. Yeah, I get to stick it in my brain.
And we got a video of that on YouTube too. Okay. So all you got to do is punch in Lionel Randolph and Keep It Moving.
Keep It Moving. There we go. I just want to punch that in. There.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but getting back to what you was talking about as far as the music, it has changed.
It's changing. That's right.
It has changed.
Big time.
But me personally, I represent, I like to throw shows and put things on, so I'm trying to bring some shows here to Stockton, California, and some entertainment, some music shows, some plays, and have featured Mr. Music, some of his music, and probably incorporate storylines. Yeah, storylines and the music, and then, have the community part of it, and you never know what might turn out. That's what I'm looking forward to. Knockout Entertainment, Knockout Production, you know what I mean? Christopher Copeland, CCC3 Engineering at gmail.com.
And that's right.
If you ever want to, inquire on research or as far as any kind of information on, shall I say, cancer awareness or, cirrhosis, I'll try to provide you get information to any individual.
So with the cancer awareness, is this something that you're affiliated with?
Yeah,
something you really promote?
I do nonprofit.
This is wonderful about music. I mean, music is universal.
Right.
I mean, and so you can hit so many people. And so as music has the power, as sometimes the Pied Piper, so to say, you're going to reach into cancer and help out that way with your music and production.
And cirrhosis of cirrhosis.
Cirrhosis of the liver, and that's a huge thing.
And all kind of other, infectious disease. I just want to put out information and resources.
Mm-hmm. And so how can we find out about some of the stuff that you're doing with the cancer?
Yes, like I said, I'm associated with a nonprofit, Macaulay Foundation. Right now we're putting stuff together. It's more the East Coast area, but we are trying to get a facility out here right now.
Well, so you're West Coast and you're bringing it here. Bring it local.
We're trying to bring it local. So just trying to, just put information out right now. And if anybody, have any problems or anything, they can feel free to email me, ccc3engineering at gmail.com. I mean, because I know, it's hard, for individuals to talk about certain illnesses and stuff like that. And I know that we're kind of getting away from what is generally the purpose of today, but it's still music and health goes hand in hand to me.
It is, and that's a wonderful thing when you can tie the two together, and that's what's great about this show. I try to look for the positiveness. If you're doing some positive music,
right?
We can play music all we want. It's kind of self-gratifying, but if you can pass your gift on, and then, for example, you're working with cancer and
working with
cirrhosis.
Working with people.
I mean, those patients will just be. It's just all that energy. I mean, that's just good energy building up that you can just share and pass on forward.
It's all about happiness is healthiness to me.
All right.
So and music too. Music too.
Music keeps the foot tapping.
I put maybe 2 or 3 songs of Mr. Music. Like I said, he has a bunch of songs, and and it just really sets my day.
Yeah, see, my whole thing is the reason why they call
No
me,
rap, no.
and the reason why
Rap's okay. Positive.
the reason why they call me Mr. Music is because I play a lot of different instruments too. I program drums, I play live drums, I play live bass guitar, I play the keyboards, I arrange, I do all the mixing, the recording, the engineering, and the singing,
The guitar,
and
strings,
and
all the strings,
all that. So that's why they call me Mr. Music, because it's all about what you need in the music business. Come see me, and I got you.
Nice, definitely.
You need lyrics, I got that too.
Got the lyrics and everything. So I'll have a little production here, and then how we can find. I know we said it earlier in the show, but how can we find you, and how can we? If people want to collaborate you when they hear the show, you know.
My email address is randolphlionel@yahoo.com.
And then
You can't miss
YouTube, Lionel,
Randolph.
Mr. Music, Randolph, Keep It Moving. He's on that video, and then he has all other links with Lionel Randolph as well on YouTube.
Yeah, all kind of music. All my albums are on YouTube. They put them up there, going through this company to get the music pressed up. They ended up put it on. It's on Amazon. Yep, and iTunes, YouTube, of course. It's all over. So you know, it's kind of cool.
Well, what we're doing, we're just trying to let San Joaquin as well as Northern California that they have a jewel here, or should I say, a nice piece of jewelry here in their town, and it's time to share it.
Well, yeah, we definitely have a great platform here.
To share it, you know, because he's a great source, and he's willing to, you know what I mean? He has the ear open for a lot of things.
There we go. And, you know, we can definitely give a shout out to Darius.
Darius
who brought us together.
Awesome, Darius.
Thank you, Darius.
Yeah,
Right, brought us
we
together.
love you, Darius.
And it's kind of a nice thing because, you know, I met Darius a while ago, going on 6 months or more, you know, back in the wintertime. And I was jamming, and he came up, and I says, "Hey, do you play shakers?" And I brought him up on stage real quick. Hey, just start playing. And
cool.
I know it was pretty funny, so we got right off as friends right away. And so,
and we heard you play bass.
Yes. Yeah.
I heard he's a monster on the bass.
He's a monster on the bass. Oh, I got it.
That's where
He's been playing a long time.
For anybody, the bass.
Foundation,
rock, funk, or you know, I love the George Clinton Funkadelic because they do the rock. They do the rock and funk style. So little jam band, and then the band of gypsies of Jimi Hendrix.
Oh yeah. You gotta have the gypsies.
You know, so maybe we can start.
Jamming.
Or,
come and jam on the radio.
A pyramid wasn't built in one day. It's stone for stone. You know what I mean?
That's awesome. Well, thanks. And then, that's coming pretty close to our show for today.
Yeah.
But thanks for coming by and everything. And so,
thanks for having us, man.
Oh yeah,
thanks for having us.
So Mr. Music there, he's got 3 albums, and so. To order the albums, they would just contact you personally, or
they could contact me, or they could go to iTunes.
There we go. iTunes.
These albums
are on iTunes.
Lionel, Mr. Music, Randolph. The album itself is called "It's About Time."
It's about time. Yeah.
Well, definitely. Well, we're definitely going to keep an eye out for you, and then definitely help when we can. And on the side, I'd love to open up for you guys or collaborate some bass and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Hey.
Keep it local. We're just right down the street.
We keep the doors open, not closed.
Got that right.
Well, thanks.
Hey, thanks a lot.
It was a wonderful time.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Thank you.
We'll bring you back
Christopher
again.
Copeland, CCC3 engineering at gmail.com. You guys have a great day.